So here they are, fresh from the oven. And I just did a light roast 350 for about 12 minutes or so. Over here are more modern ones. And what's cool is I didn't use any olive oil or anything. I just popped off the tops, gave them a good scrub. And the skins are a little bit wrinkly, so it's gonna make it really easy to peel off the skins. At least in Gerard, he specifically mentions roasting them with the skins on. What's really cool is that, so these here, the Crapaudine are the more medievally ones, their skin is much more thick. And so I'm curious if that's gonna better protect the inside flesh from the cooking process, since I didn't use any olive oil or aluminum foil or anything like that. And this is a much thinner skin, so let's cut these open and see what happens. Well, that was very cool. Although these being the modern ones being a little bit larger, they're definitely more toothsome. They're more solid. They didn't cook all the way through. They needed more time. And the skin is slipping off. It's nice and thin there. And you can tell there's one of the bullseye beets. And I think this is one of the Detroit Reds or Bull's Blood. The chard, that little red spot is totally just because it's left over from my knife, but the skin sloughed off and it's really small. I'm not too, I don't have much hope for that one. Anyway, this is the Lutz Green. Again, nice, really red bullseye pattern to its thinner skin. And then here is the Crapaudine. See, I'll put the name in the notes so you can actually understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, a much thicker skin, and it just sloughed right off when I cut it open. It just like had no hesitation. And that might be just because it's smaller and so it cooked faster, but yeah, it just peels right off, which is really cool. And it just comes right on off. I can almost feel like I can squeeze it out of here. All right. Taste test time. Okay, taste test time, starting with the more modern one. This is the one like the Detroits. So here we go. It's a beet. So nice sugar profile, good texture. And so there's a little bit of a center core there. Definitely more crunchy because it didn't cook as much as the other ones because it's bigger. But yeah, it tastes like a beet. There is quite a bit of sweetness to it, which is what we have grown used to with beets. All right, so next up is the chard. Let's just get this one out of the way. Fiber. No. Although, once you get past the fiber part, it's actually really pleasant. It doesn't have the earthiness at all of a beet. That's actually really cool. All right, that's fun. Next up, Lutz Green. Great texture. This one I cooked well. Ooh. So definitely sweet beet, not as sweet as the modern one, and it doesn't quite have that deep kind of dirt flavor that sometimes beets can get. That's really lovely, kind of light, almost with a little bit more acid to it. I'm gonna harvest more of those for the beet. I was just gonna feed it to the chickens, but that's actually really tasty. All right, and what at least I have been waiting for, the old school medieval 1,000-year-old beet, right? Great texture, super mild, not sweet at all, but it doesn't really taste like a beet. It has this beautiful, just kind of mild, gentle flavor of a beet. The texture is beautiful. There's a little bit of a central core at the very tip, but I mean, that's at the very tip. I'm trying to, it's so mild and delicate, and it has deep flavors to it, but it's not like that dirt flavor that beets sometimes can get. I mean, I'm all about dirt, and comparison with, yeah, holy crap. Now I can see why the Crapaudine beet is considered a French delicacy, and it's worth the longer grow time and the less harvest time. This is, holy smolies. Yeah, and that thick skin protects it, so that cooking practice of just tossing it into the fire makes a whole lot of more sense, right? Where our modern beets would get burnt. Dang. Holy, oh my gosh. This is so much fun. Okay, so if you have the time and the space and the inclination, totally grow the medieval Crapaudine beets. I'll put a link in. I think one of my favorite seed companies is selling them. God, zooks, that's lovely. All right, have a lovely day. Eat some beets. Cheers.